Annual Hacks for Humanity, put on by ASU's Project Humanities, is a 36-hour hackathon that challenges participants to come up with new technologies to help solve local and global concerns. And here to tell us more is Neil Lester, founding director of Project Humanities. Good to see you again.
Well, thanks for inviting me back.
It's that time of year when we talk about what is a hackathon?
Oh, a hackathon is a community building event. It has nothing to do with breaking into people's personal property or identification. It really is an opportunity to come together and to build.
And the idea is to build for social good.
Yes.
Define social good.
Social good, anything that's bigger than ourselves individually. So this is not about finding your car in a parking lot, but this is about suicide prevention or about getting parents to communicate with their children who have ADHD. So this is about something that is bigger than ourselves.
So this is 36 hours, and what happens during these 36 hours?
Well, they have fun, they have workshops, they learn, they collaborate, they network, but most importantly, they come together to create community and network in ways that they ordinarily wouldn't come in this sort of moment of disruptive innovation. So there'll be a competition, there'll be a judging, there'll be pitching ideas, and hopefully there'll be people who want to take some of these ideas to market.
So we're talking about a bunch of nerds going crazy here.
Actually, we're not talking about a bunch of nerds. We're talking about everyday people. So these are not. That's one of the things that makes this different. This is not just for coders. This is for everybody.
All right. Well, who? There are faculty included, staff,
That's right.
and community members along with them. Don't forget the nerds.
High school students.
High school students.
Yeah. This is nerds and non-nerds.
So we're seeing people sitting around there, and they say, we want to. Here's an idea.
Right.
Let's help people with ADHD do X, Y, and Z. Give us
what you have to do first is form your team, and then you have to figure out, well, what's already on the market? What's the challenge, and what is your solution? And how will you build that challenge, and why will it matter to somebody? So there's a way in which we walk people through this so that you recognize that when you come in, you don't just start coding. And keep in mind, this is not just about an app. This could be a video game. This could also be a website. And it takes all kinds of people to put something together, not just people who know how to code from the front end and the back end, but how do you design this? How do you do the research on this? So this really is for everybody. It's not just for nerds.
And the focus now is, according to the website here, mobility, social justice, and parenting.
That's right. Each year we've looked at, since last year, we've looked at different themes. But the themes ultimately are just tracks to help guide the participants in what they want to do. But whatever is created still has to reflect 3 of the 7 principles that we call Humanity 101. The empathy, the compassion, the self-reflection, the forgiveness, the kindness, all those kinds of things that one might look at in terms of what may be missing from the world today.
And I was going to say, when they're in the process, all these folks, including the nerds, we can't leave them out. When they're all doing, do they have that? Is it always there, or do they sometimes just get lost in the process?
Well, it's an evolving process, because keep in mind, these are people who don't necessarily come there as teams. They create teams organically once they register. And that morning, we'll do all kinds of team building exercises and meet and greets, and then you form a team with people that you didn't come with. So the idea is that you're doing lots of things. But keep in mind, this is not just 36 hours of sitting at a laptop. This really is about line dancing at midnight and a pizza party, therapy dogs, rise and shine yoga, but it's also about workshops. How do technology and humanity go together? What is the difference between a for-profit and a not-for-profit? So this is also a learning experience. We teach you about a business plan. How do you come up with an idea? How do you work with a team? And how do you work with a team that has different personalities, different values, but we all work towards some common good?
And how long have these hackathons been going on?
This is our 5th year, and it's growing, it's bigger and better.
Previous years, things come out of here where you go, holy smokes.
Yes, the suicide prevention app, for example, which has now gone on to become its own, Arc Humanity, its own for-profit. And they're in conversations with Google and Facebook now about moving that to market. There are others who have gone on to win Changemaker Challenge contest and competition. So this is not a one-off, but people understand, or we make it clear, that you don't have to commit to doing anything past this. What typically happens is that people do that on their own, and that's exciting.
So if people want to learn more about this, maybe get involved, where do they go?
They can Google Project Humanities.
Project Humanities.
At Arizona State University.
Okay.
They can go to the website, projecthumanities.asu.edu, or hacks HACKS for FOR humanity.io. And everything is there not just for participants, but also for mentors and volunteers.
Yes.
So this is a space for everybody, even you, Ted.
Even, oh, yeah. Well,
even you, Ted.
Even me. Before we go, on a day like today, I got to
Yes.
ask you, Mr.
Yes.
Director of Project Humanities.
Yes.
What do you make of a day like today?
Well, I think that those principles that we talk about need to be practiced. The empathy, the forgiveness, the compassion, the respect, the integrity, all of those things played out on that national stage today. And I wish that we could practice those in ways that we sometimes just rhetorically give nods toward it. And this is one effort toward that.
This is one effort toward that, but
Yes.
do you feel sometimes that you're out in the middle of the ocean all by yourself and the rest of the world just is going in a different direction?
Well, you know, that's where the question of are we losing our humanity came up 4 and 5 years ago, is that we have to recognize that we have always existed in the best and the worst at the same time. And the human condition is, how do you reconcile that?
Right.
And that's what we're trying to do, is provide one avenue of trying to reconcile that.
All right. I feel better.
And where there's life, there's hope.
I feel better already.
Where there's life, there's hope.
Neil Lester, Project Humanities founding director. It's always good to see you.
Thank you very
Thanks
much for inviting me back.
You bet. And Friday on Arizona Horizon, it's a journalist roundtable. We'll talk about this week's rather contentious governors debates and the impact of the Kavanaugh confirmation hearings on Arizona politics. That and more Friday on the Journalists Roundtable. That is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thanks for joining us. You have a great evening.
Arizona Horizon is made possible with the support of Arizona Highways Magazine, for people inspired to enjoy Arizona's unique outdoor experience, and by APS, working 24/7 to keep Arizona on.